Hello and welcome to HealthWire Media. I'm Sneha Kumari with you. And on World Health Day, I am in conversation with Mugdha Pradhan, who is a CEO and founder of iThrive, as well as she is a TEDx speaker, serial entrepreneur, author, and orator with a master's degree in nutrition. So I would love to welcome ma'am on our show and thank you for giving us your time and being with us to give many insights on how to keep up with your health. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining HealthWire.
You're welcome, and really a lot of gratitude to you for inviting me here. I'm honored to be able to share my viewpoint.
How she has been an inspiration to all, like to everybody. She has changed from, her journey was so inspiring, especially for me. If I look at her right now, I would be really motivated, and I would love ma'am to give some of her, to share a gist of her story for our audience so that they also get motivated and inspired by her story.
Sure, sure, Sneha. My journey, right, in terms of my health journey, it was really driven by my own need to kind of fix my health because what had happened with about 38 years of, despite having a master's degree in nutrition, I had kind of gone into the corporate world. I had stopped focusing on my own health. Mentally, I was not in the right place. I was living a life, that society had approved a lot, like it was like the perfect looking life. But internally, I was extremely unhappy. And then to fix those feelings and to not feel depressed and all, I would turn to food often.
Okay.
So that was one thing that was happening, emotional eating.
Ah,
Secondly, because of those food choices, because of all the inflammatory food and like wrong nutrition going in, I
yeah.
developed a lot of chronic conditions like pre-diabetes and
Okay.
thyroid issues, which was also an autoimmune condition. Gained weight because of that, right? So I'd reached 97 kgs.
Okay.
Now, at some point, I realized that this trajectory was not really useful. 97 was just 3 kg short of 100, and I was like, I have to do something about this.
Yeah.
So that's when I went back to the world of nutrition. My
Yeah.
master's was somewhere in 2001, and I had completely ignored that knowledge. So 2001 wala knowledge I came back to in 2016, 2017, and it turned out that it was all outdated. I didn't, I couldn't apply a lot of that knowledge and see any useful results. So I
Okay.
kept researching out of desperation actually because I had to fix my health.
Yeah.
And I discovered this field of medicine called functional medicine, which had originated in the US.
Okay.
That approach was because I tried many things. I tried keto diet, I had tried intermittent fasting, I had tried fasting, I had tried low carb, no fat, so many things, and nothing was working.
Yeah.
Then, when I discovered functional medicine, so the entire philosophy was if you do your blood tests
Okay.
and if you learn how to interpret them correctly, you will learn whatever is happening in your body. Once you learn what is happening in your body, you just work on that,
Yeah.
right? And then automatically the symptoms, which is also weight gain, right? Weight gain is a symptom of something going wrong. So
Right.
that will also get resolved. Like when your car is making noises, when your car is
Yeah.
not running smoothly,
Yeah.
you will first take it to a mechanic, he'll open the bonnet, see what is going inside, and fix all of those things. Automatically, your car starts working well.
Yeah.
Similarly, with the body, it was that approach, right? So you do your blood test, see what is going on inside, open
Okay.
the bonnet of your body, see what's going on inside, fix
Right.
all of those things. Automatically, your body will start functioning the way it's supposed to function.
Supposed to
And
function.
that's what I did. So 2017, I started using functional medicine, functional nutrition to fix my own health.
Okay.
And like I lost 37 kgs, I was 60 kgs in very little time.
Okay.
Uh, my diseases all got reversed. My autoimmune condition was gone. My type 2 diabetes had
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any diseases and I started feeling healthy again, and I kind of started looking younger than I used to look at that time, right? So if you ever see my picture when I was 38 versus if you see me now, I look much more alive and vibrant now.
Yeah.
And when I discovered this approach, when I discovered it was so easy to fix health, that's when I started offering it to other people. And
Yes.
that's what we do now at iThrive. We really help people reverse their lifestyle diseases.
Yeah.
158 diseases is what we're working with right now.
Yeah.
And the list keeps increasing.
Right. This is, this is something that we all are going through. Not only you have survived this, you have fought for this and worked hard for this, but everybody is going through something or the other in the health sector, and this is very
Right.
important for everybody to know that what are the things you should start following in your diet or in your lifestyle to change, to make a change basically. So what do you suggest our audience that they should inculcate healthy habits or
Hmm.
habits that they can follow in their everyday life to have a better.
Thing, see, what I've seen causes major health issues is, of course, sugar. Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah,
Refined sugar is not good for
yeah,
health. So
yeah,
if you swap refined sugar for, let's say, something like raw organic honey, if you start using dates as your sweetener, or if you have sweet cravings, you eat fruits in their natural form. We all know, again, processed foods are bad for us, right? Because they're not even like real food. A
right,
potato made in a sabzi at home
yeah,
is very different from the potato chips that you'd find in a packet.
correct,
So instead of indulging in processed foods, switch to real forms of food.
yeah,
Now, these two are commonly known things. Every nutritionist will tell you about this.
yeah,
One simple quick fix that if a lot of people make, because India is kind of the diabetes capital of the world, and the reason why we are that is genetically we are more predisposed to diabetes.
diabetes,
So if I have to look at the one big change that people should be doing in their homes, in their kitchens, is
yeah,
replacing all seed oils, which means all your vegetable oils, right? Your sunflower oil, your safflower, mustard, groundnut, all of these commonly used oils, which were not really part of our, uh, these oils came only after industrialization.
right,
In nature, you wouldn't find these oils unless you had kind of found a way to crush the seed, extract the oil, right? So all of these oils came from industrialization.
yeah,
These oils really cause a lot of damage to our body and heart
body,
and a lot of our cell membrane. So replace these vegetable seed oils with something as simple as ghee or butter or coconut oil. A lot of people are afraid of ghee and butter because of the cholesterol
yeah,
demonization.
yeah, yeah.
But
But the
yeah,
doctors also suggest that if you have ghee rather than butter and any other refined oils, ghee is actually everyday thing you can have it. Is it
ghee is
correct?
healthier. Yeah, yeah. Ghee, even butter is okay. Butter is not a problem either.
Okay,
So the top three oils or fats that I would recommend everyone should
yeah,
actually use instead of seed oils, instead of vegetable oils is ghee, butter, or coconut
butter,
oil.
coconut.
Very easily available in India. Not
Yeah,
like they're not fancy, expensive things like avocado oil and olive oil, right?
yeah.
These are part of our traditional culture, traditional cuisine. Time used in the south, ghee and butter have been always used in the north. We don't need to use seed oils. They're not something that our body responds to well.
Response. Yeah. So, if we talk about the symptoms of our body, like how they communicate with us and
Hmm.
they tell us that something is wrong with our body,
Right.
or how do we, understand the symptoms, or how much it is important to know the root cause of the symptoms. That is something which is very important, and we generally ignore this most of the time. So, do you want to say something about
So every symptom from your body is a message that your body is giving
it? Yeah,
to tell you, hey, something's wrong inside, fix
yeah,
it. Again, using the
yeah,
car analogy,
yeah,
if your car is making noises, it's because something's kind of off with the engine or something's really going on with the other parts of the car that are not working well, right?
yes, yes,
So even whether it is a headache, whether it is gas and bloating, whether it is joint pains, muscle pains, or whether it is feeling tired and fatigued, without coffee you can't work in the evenings,
mm-hmm.
without tea you can't go to the washroom in the morning,
Yeah,
or even if it is slow and steady increase in weight, right? Every 2 3 months suddenly your weight is going up by 1 kg, and by the end of the year your weight is up by 5 6 kgs.
okay,
All of these are messages that your body is using to communicate with you something is wrong. Now the
hmm.
problem is, if you only look at the symptoms, you
Haha.
could have a headache because of dehydration, you could have a headache because your gut is not functioning well,
Functioning well.
you could have a headache because of a toxin overload, you could have headaches because of deficiencies.
Yeah,
So if you look at the symptom and if you just treat the symptom, you're still shooting in the dark. It's like gambling, right? You don't know what's going on. But when you do your blood work, when you do your blood test, you actually get very, very objective data, very accurate information about what is going on.
yeah,
Then, when you correlate the symptom with that data, you actually get a perfect picture of what to do for this person's health.
correct.
So, symptoms are what you're struggling with.
Struggling with.
those have to be listened to, those have to be heard. Someone has to tell me what is going on. I want to listen to everything that you're experiencing.
Yes.
Because when you work on the internal health issues, when you resolve them, what is going to disappear are your symptoms.
Yeah.
So for you to, you have to be symptom free for you to feel healthy and alive, right?
Yeah.
Your symptoms are just as important,
Yes.
but you can't be treated just on symptoms. You have to be treated with a root cause analysis. So that's why the blood test and the symptom correlation becomes really important.
Yeah. So we should not ignore any of the symptoms if you're having, even
Never,
if it's
never.
headache or yeah. So that's very important. The second question I would like to put in for you is that how, after COVID-19, people have started, now the offices and everything is, have started again. So how the employees and the workers should, step out and take care of themselves, or what are the tips do you want to give them?
Yeah. So what we saw in through 2020 and 21 was a very, very deep level of isolation. People were all alone in their homes, cooped up, because everyone was afraid that if you go outside, you're going to get a virus. So movement got restricted,
Yeah.
sunlight exposure got restricted, and even getting exposed to somebody else's microbiome and building your immunity through that actually got compromised. And then a lot of people, the boundary between work and personal life were completely blurred. Like, so many of my clients started telling me that I wake up and my laptop is in front of me and I go to bed with my laptop next to me, right? So
Exactly.
people were waking up and sleeping and work was never ending.
Yes.
In that, now what happened, because of the inconvenience of that boundary blurring, a lot of people started ordering in, because Zomato and Swiggy made it really easy. So a lot of people started eating outside food, and that actually ruined even more, like, their health even more. So for anyone to get back on track, to become like what I call as alive and vibrant again,
Yeah.
few tips. One is start having. So it starts even before your day begins. It starts the previous night.
Yes.
Go to bed at around 10:30. Avoid doing the Netflix binge, because that was still okay during lockdown period. Now everyone has to leave home and go to work. So if you've gotten into that pattern of the Netflix binge or Amazon Prime binge, it's not going to work for you. So start going to bed early, 10:30. Keep the same bedtime. Get a good 8 hours of sleep, because that's when the body restores and rejuvenates itself.
Right.
And once you wake up, instead of rolling around in bed, come out and get some sunlight exposure. Okay, so sunlight is beyond vitamin D. Sunlight does many beautiful things in the body. So get 8 hours of sleep, get some sunlight exposure, drink water,
Yeah.
because water is something that our body always, always needs,
Yes.
and learn how to make quick meals using household ingredients.
Okay.
Like, people say that healthy food takes too much time and all of that. If you just make a 3 egg omelette and you make a khichdi with rice and dal, it
Yes.
actually covers your carbohydrate and your protein requirement. You add some ghee on top, you're getting the right kind of fat also. It's so simple, right? So it's not that eating healthy needs a lot of time investment or a big grocery list or a fridge full of ingredients. It doesn't. You
Yeah.
could just do fruits for snacks. If you're going to office now and you feel hungry in the daytime, instead of eating biscuits and chips in office, carry a couple of fruits with you, right? Like, bananas are very easy to transport, oranges are easy to transport. You don't have to cut and peel and anything.
Yes.
So fruits for snacks, homemade meals for most of your lunch, dinner, breakfast,
Yes.
and avoid drinking coffee after 4 p.m., 3 p.m. for most people, because
Okay.
if you drink coffee at that time and if you're very caffeine sensitive, it's going to impact your sleep in the night.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
So simple things, right? Sleep enough, get sunlight exposure, drink water, eat homemade food, and I'm telling you, in 30 days you'll be a healthier version of yourself.
So that's
Yeah.
something we should all follow. I think if I talk about myself, it's difficult for me also to follow this routine, but definitely I'll try this starting from today itself. So other than that, now if we talk about children or kids, now this is summer season and they have also started going to schools. So, what is your tips for the parents or for the children basically to take care of them during this time when they're going to schools? What are the tips do you want to?
So, yeah, see, the thing about kids is their immunity is always increased by getting exposed to other kids' germs, and that's how we build our immunity. Even as kids, when we were small, also,
Yeah.
it's called adaptive immunity. That's how it develops. So
Okay.
you can't really completely sterilize your child. It's not a good idea also. We are made of more bacteria and viruses than we are made of human DNA. 90% of our DNA is foreign in nature.
Yeah.
So we are made of bacteria, viruses. It's natural.
Natural.
So you can't really sterilize your child against germs. You can't completely keep them in a bubble.
Yeah.
That being said, what you can do is if they get exposed to a germ, there are simple tips and tricks that you can do to kind of lessen the duration of their illness. Okay, so childhood illness is okay. It's the body's way of learning how to survive on this planet.
Yeah.
So zinc really works well to build up immunity. But again, with children, you have to be careful about the dosage and the kind of zinc you're giving. So we actually post a lot about supplements and all that on our channels, our Instagram and everything. So people can go check that out. But for children, zinc is important. Vitamin D is important. B complex is important. These three, along with the right kind of food with protein and all of that,
Yeah.
really helps children maintain their immunity.
Okay.
Sunlight exposure helps kids also big time. There are a couple of other herbs which we recommend if someone gets a cold or if someone gets a stomach upset, like echinacea. Karke, there's a herb which is not of Indian origin. It comes from the US, but it cuts down colds in like if you do a zinc lozenge and echinacea on day one of you feeling a scratchy, itchy sensation,
Yeah.
you won't even get a cold. Your body will just use the herb and the zinc to kind of fight the virus even before it becomes a big disease.
Okay.
I have personally in 2020, 2021, there were so many viral mutations and so much was going, and I kept going out. I didn't really restrict myself to home.
Yeah.
So I used this combination a lot and it worked really well. Like I didn't get sick beyond a day or two, except for one major incident in November 2021.
Okay.
And I've seen this with the team also. We've seen this with our clients also. Also, in case of a respiratory infection, you can do a kadha with oregano, thyme, pepper, and turmeric. So you just boil these things. Like you take half a teaspoon of oregano and thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. Boil it in 2 cups of water until it becomes 1 cup. So about 10 minutes or so. Cool it, strain it, add like raw organic honey to it, and it really fights viral infections beautifully. The other illness that a lot of kids experience now in summers is stomach infections because they might drink water somewhere, or they might drink juice somewhere, or they might eat ice cream, or
Even the
they might eat with even fruit or or the food could be out for long in their dabbas in the
yeah.
heat, and then suddenly they get a stomach infection. So at such times, give your children very easy to digest food like plain khichdi. That's what, and most kids avoid eating when they have they
Yeah.
are very naturally tuned to their body, right? So they won't do heavy stuff at that time. So a khichdi, if the child tolerates dairy well, then a simple homemade dahi or buttermilk also is okay. But if the child is sensitive to dairy, it might make the diarrhea worse. And probiotics, good quality probiotics again really help in bringing down stomach infections. And if the child is experiencing nausea and vomiting, we do this. So you grate like half an inch of ginger, you grate it with a grater, squeeze out the juice,
Okay.
uh, squeeze half a lime in that, put a little bit of asafoetida, which is hing.
Okay.
So it's ginger extract, lime, hing, and honey. You mix it and you give this every 30 minutes or every 1 hour to your child,
Okay.
and the nausea will kind of reduce, appetite will come back. So it really works well. Even for adults, this works well.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think there was a whole lot of health tips and inspiration story that ma'am shared with us, and you can follow this from today itself to be healthy, and make this statement today only for yourself on World Health Day that you're going to be healthy, and you're going to make changes in your lifestyle. So start it from today itself. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining HealthWire, and
You're
thank
most welcome.
yeah, and giving us your time. And we'll see you again in the next video with more health updates. Thank you so much.
Super.